Okay, got AMF Lane here on YouTube. AMF HPL 9000. Yeah, these are just other synthetics that are not AMF. But the lane source here appears to be an older HPL 9000, which I believe is from AMF Sierra lanes. As my dad told me, either that or it could have been from Clovis or Selma or Madeira. Well, not Madeira, because do you know it's from Madeira? Or what could be AMF? This one. Brunswick Anvilane 1, as it appears to be. And it says Brunswick USB-C approved right on here. B510 made USA. That I believe is a Brunswick Anvilane 1. If it's original Brunswick Anvilane, and it's not a pro Anvilane Brunswick. Okay. And this here is obviously the AMF HPL older 9000, but it's higher friction, yet it's thicker. I don't know. I'm just gonna try to ball and act like I'm so new. And the oil pattern is 45 feet. We didn't oil the lanes today, but well, tell me whether or not there's oil. The milliliters are probably not that high, but I did apply some oil. And hopefully with more natural ingredients. Now, I don't know what, everyone's talking about, like, completely all natural ingredients, because the AMF and, Kegel, Brunswick, all those lane oils, they have a bunch of artificial chemicals and fungicides in there already that you don't want. And they might as well be adding polyurethane to oil, so I don't even know if I trust oil wax all the way on a lane. Okay, so now we're going to bowl with a Brunswick Rhino urethane. Not a Rhino Pro. This is an original Brunswick Rhino urethane here. But this is Brunswick here. And this lane source is AMF. Brunswick AMF. This Brunswick Anvilane 1 here. And this is AMF HPL 9000 lane here on the right. Now, I know this is going to throw something off. But what's the majority here? What color does it look like? More yellow or more that? Well, then it might be a little harder to tell. But we're gonna throw the Brunswick Rhino left-handed. We're gonna see if it even it went somewhere. Okay, great. Well, it went somewhere. Okay, this is dry. The edges will be way more dry than the middle for a typical house shot, around 45 feet in length of a typical house shot. Regardless of any federal standards and political standards, I don't really care about so much, but this is the typical house shot oil lane pattern. So right here, around 45 feet, and I hope you see that there obviously is oil. And where it isn't, it should be applied on the house shots. And obviously, way more so than breakpoint, it's way more the specific route you're gonna bolt on the lane to get to that breakpoint. Regardless of whether you're playing as extreme as outside as the one board, or whether or not you're playing as far as inside as a 10 to 15 to 20 board. Okay. Or some people even go 40 board left to 39th board. It's possible, but everyone says the lane's got 39 boards though. Well, how do we know whether or not it's true 39 boards? Well, then hopefully a specific lane service will prove something whether or not it's 39 boards. Then hopefully so. Brunswick here, they try to prove 39. AMF tries to prove 39 here. Obviously older HPL lanes. Could show you the barcode if you want, but I mean, there's tape already over it, and I think they're AMF. So why care whether or not they're HPL or SPL? I mean, these are just obviously some older, higher friction AMF HPL. If I was to compare SPL, what looks more like SPL than here? Classic bowl. Some people say it's Murray. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with them, but this obviously looks way more like HPL because SPL. If it was SPL, the arrows would generally be lighter here, and the orange is generally way lighter, and it's way more of a lighter yellow than orange if it was AMF SPL lanes. Or even this doesn't pass off as AMF SPL lane. What's the other one that will pass off? Murray MML will pass off closer to AMF SPL because the friction is lower and it probably designed something like SPL. I don't know very specifically, but that's what every bowler tries to tell you. And this is Brunswick. Yeah, it's way thinner and it could be harder. But this also feels pretty hard as well. So I don't know if it's so much compare and contrast whether or not, and or whether if it's just the bowling itself very specifically. And I already know that this time is very unprecedented. So yeah, most honesty in bowling in the most unprecedented pandemic unemployment in California. It might be around here. Okay, this here is obviously lane 1 because it's the first lane I hopefully built. No, my grandpa Lee built a lane before he unfortunately died at 80 years old. Which it was 2021 of this year in a bigger episode Lee, but well, I'm also trying to improve the lanes here to build hopefully more than one lane. Okay, what are we gonna do if there's no oil, but you gotta prove you got an oil lane? Well, to try something like adding more oil at the similar lanes, even for such low milliliters. You might as well try something like a lane machine like this. Everyone's gonna say it's impossible around 45 feet, but I think there's oil, hopefully. I think there's enough oil for this high performance AMF with, oh, I forgot to classify, the back end has wood. Oh, so this might be even better. Why did people complain that freeway and Selma's got wood and it just hooks earlier? I don't know, but doesn't sound bad to me. If I bowled way worse at the tournament in McHenry Bowl in Modesto, I don't know, felt like way less oil or something. Oh, Dinuba lanes or new generation lanes, they all feel around the same. It's like no oil, and like it's either that and we don't bowl good, or we just got to improve as a bowler. That's why I don't know what even else to tell you close, and I'm a bowler. I've been bowling for about 10 years. And hopefully we're going to set up some pins here, set up 10 here, and hopefully I hope we will get a strike. Okay, set this pin up here. 10 pin right here. Make sure it stays up. Thank God, I hope it stays up. Okay, and here is the 7 pin. It's not my birthday, and this is the 7 pin. Okay, come on. 7 pin. Gotta be more serious than this. Well, then what if it was your birthday and it's the 7 pin is close to that? Well, it says happy birthday to the 7 pin. If it's AMF, I don't know. Even if it was, or it may not, and it might say it's USB-C. I don't know. The pins about bowling, why no one wants to complain, generally just because they're that much different. Okay, so hopefully we'll just keep resetting these. Okay, I'm trying to make something called, hopefully, a presentation. And this will hopefully be something called a multimedia presentation. Okay, a multimedia presentation. Oh yeah. Okay, hopefully so. All right, some bowling pins. Because obviously there's hopefully a multimedia presentation like a lot of my former teachers say things like that. Whether or not they're good teachers, I don't know, but I've heard a lot of conversations like that about presentations in like a lot of classes about not too bad. Only so you have a presentation, don't stress out too bad on the presentation. False pretenses. No, I don't want more false pretenses than I have made. Okay, false pretenses. I'm barely getting more bowling pins than 10. False pretenses. Pandemic unemployment of false pretenses. Okay. And it's false pretenses, I guess it's called. Well, then I guess it's called false pretenses.